Well, hey there, diet disruptors. Carrie here, and happy Monday to everybody. Type Monday fun day in the chat. If you're watching this live with me, Monday fun day. That's what we're gonna call it. So we're just in the crux of winter here in New England, and been working on so many things. But I love the snow. I love the winter. I love the seasons. But this is about the time when I'm like ready to be like, okay, we had winter. Now I'm ready for springtime. So we got a still a ways to go. But anyway, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And if you are watching me on the replay or listening to this on the podcast, still comment when I ask you to comment. So I have a really exciting thing to talk to everybody about today. I actually put a post out last week in our free Facebook group, our Diet Disruptors Squad. I am streaming live in our live episode right in the squad right now. We also stream this though in our YouTube channel and in our Disruptive Nutrition business page. But I can see Diet Disruptor Squad comments right now as I'm live. So hello to all of my squad members. How are you today? Say squad if you are part of the squad. If you're not, you really should be. But so I posted something last week, and I only posted one post in the squad. And I kind of shared something that I've been working on for the last year. And I'm going to share a little bit more about it now. So let's see. Let me give you a little bit of background first. Okay. So years and years ago, when I was in a really bad place with my health, I had two little girls. I was traveling 2-3 weeks every single month as a national educational consultant. A lot of you know I was a teacher. I was a mindset coach for the last 6 years of my profession, and I was a behavior specialist. And I think those things have actually really served me and my clients well in being able to help people to understand not just how to eat. I can teach anybody how to eat. If you want to do a workshop with me, I will show you within 2 hours how to eat. It's not that hard. In fact, we used to have a online course that we would sell, and I took it off. I took it off our website, and let me tell you why. Because I taught people how to eat, and it was great. And then people didn't do it. It was crazy. Like, we know blood sugar stabilization and eating in the way that we eat, right? We eat protein, fat, and carb every 3 to 4 hours. It balances our blood sugar. It gives our body the macronutrients it needs. And yes, we need carbs, and it gives us energy. It almost immediately stops our cravings. It starts to speed up our metabolism, and we release the weight that our body has been holding on to because of the dieting, believe it or not, or also because we have been on a blood sugar roller coaster for our whole life. So when I started teaching this to people, even before we had like fancy disruptive nutrition, and I also wrote an online course, which is we've updated a bunch of times and is amazing. People would be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, this is amazing. And people would rely on motivation to do it. And then inevitably life happens, right? Life happens. And while I will always say we cannot control our circumstances, but we can control our response, if we don't learn how to control our responses, if we don't figure out what triggers our behaviors, our stress eating, things like that, and then what to do about it when it happens, learning how to eat won't matter. Because if everybody says, I know what to do, I just don't do it. I will argue all day long. Most people do not know what to do. We have this completely inaccurate assumption that we have to take in less calories than we burn. We have to track our food on an app. We can't eat carbs, all of that kind of stuff. That is what the diet industry has made us believe. And for the people that it has quote unquote worked for, we literally talk to hundreds and hundreds of women every single month, and it hasn't worked for them. So long-term, being at a deficit doesn't make anything flourish, right? So going back to the fact that I have an online course called PFC Every 3, and I teach people how to eat, but they don't stick with it because they rely on motivation to get them started. And then motivation will always wean. Like, have you ever set your alarm at 5 o'clock in the morning and say, I'm going to get up and work out, and then hit snooze? And once people know what to do and actually understand how to do it correctly, they still don't do it. Right? So we have built our programs and our approach, not just around what we know our bodies need, but around the psychology of what's going on with us. Being an educator for more than 20 years, being a behavior specialist and mindset coach helped me to be uniquely qualified in a way to write our programs and our teaching, because I was a curriculum developer, but to then coach and support and teach women how to not just understand how to eat, but understand that our thoughts and our actions dictate our beliefs. That many women think that in order to get healthy, we have to just eat better and we have to exercise and all of those things in order to lose weight. In all reality, we actually have to have a whole lot more self-awareness. And that's what we do here. And we do it really, really well. And I think we do it really well because we've been doing it for so many years and we've honed in and we know the formula and we know how to coach it. We know how to support people. There isn't a scenario that we haven't come across. So I think that's one of them. But I'll say that the right people are in our program. I mean, you can't just go on my website and join us. You can't. We don't do it that way. We make sure we have a phone call with you. We want to hear your story. We want to understand where you are. You need to be ready. I got to be honest. You need to be ready. And what do I mean by ready? I mean, you're convinced. And this is why I want to have a phone call. This is why we want to teach, because you have to be convinced that this is it. This is the last first date with a nutritional approach you'll ever go on. This is the last nutritional advice you'll ever need, that you are not going to go around the mountain anymore, that you are willing to dig in and learn, because those are the women that are successful. Those are the people that rock it. And more importantly, you agree and are ready to actually commit to this new marriage between you and your body for the rest of your life. Nobody walks down the aisle saying, yeah, I'm going to do this for about 6 months. No. But I will say, sometimes we walk down the aisle, we go on the honeymoon, we think it's going to be great, and then we don't cultivate that marriage. Trust might be broken. Inconsistencies happen. You don't go on date nights. You don't cultivate that relationship. There's multiple reasons why marriages will fail, but they're often based on trust, consistency, mutual respect, sometimes putting your needs before, others and or aside, and put others' needs ahead of yours. And when you go in to work with us, you get married to yourself. And you got to go to the wedding and the honeymoon and then cultivate it. And then agree that just because you understand how to eat and just because you understand what your body needs doesn't mean you're going to do it forever without cultivating that relationship forever. Right? So it's really important. So people have to be ready for that. And if they're not ready or they don't believe it, then we don't invite them in. But there's another reason why people can't work with us. All that we do, all that we share, it's a lot. It's comprehensive. I mean, women, when they join us for a lifetime. No more. Like, you don't pay over and over and over again. You can just join us for a lifetime and be done. And that's so important to me, because I want you to be able to win and have a community that's always going to be there for you. Because in 5 years from now, when something happens, you got to know you got your crew. You got to know you got your squad. Right. But I know that not everybody can afford to work with us. We have multiple ways of working with women to help this become financially feasible. But at the end of the day, it's not always possible. It might be what you need, but you can't have it. And you can't have it because, financially you aren't there yet. Or, to be very honest with you, you're not ready to do all that it entails. And it's fine. It's fine. We can get you when you're ready, but also financially, I get it too, right? And so for the last year, I have been working on something with the one and only Mark Macdonald. I have his book right here. Those of you that are listening to my podcast, I know you can't see what I'm holding up, so I'll just tell you what I'm holding up. This is called Body Confidence, a book by Mark Macdonald. He is a celebrity nutritionist. He has been on every one of those TV shows, Dr. Oz, Today's Show, Good Morning America, you name it. But the reason why he's a New York Times bestseller, and the reason why, literally, Mark's a very good friend of mine. We were walking on the street recently, And somebody stopped him on the street, recognized him, and just said, "Oh my gosh, I have lost more than 100 pounds. But more importantly than that, I am at my optimal health. I've done every diet in the world. Nothing ever worked. I almost went to go do gastric bypass surgery. And then I got my hands on you and your program, and you changed my life." And it was incredible, right? Incredible. He actually gave her his phone number right then and there. He was so happy. But he said to me, having a book is great, but most people don't have stories like that because they read my book. And the book is affordable, but there's pieces missing, right? Lots of pieces missing. And that's always bothered him, right? Like that's always been an issue because we know what it takes to actually be able to cultivate this marriage between you and your body. And like we said, we can teach you how to eat. It doesn't matter. And that's why I took the PFC Every 3 online course off my site, because we would have women be like, I'm just going to try that right now. And then they didn't give it their all. They didn't get everything that they needed. And most of them didn't even finish it, to be very honest with you. And those that didn't get the feedback, didn't get the support, didn't have the community, didn't have the troubleshooting, if they weren't doing it right or well or whatever, or they didn't know how to deal with some of the nuances, they just said it didn't work. And that was my biggest fear, because I know this works. I know this works for everybody. I know blood sugar stabilization is at the crux of what every body needs, whether you're 4 or 94. And when you have your blood sugar stabilized on a regular basis by eating PFC Every 3, your body's going to react. It does it for everybody. And so if you're going to read his book or take my online course and then not know how to actually implement this right and well, and you think it quote unquote didn't work, then you're going to go look for other diets. You're going to go down that roller coaster. And I have actually done worse by you than better. I'd rather you do nothing than think you've done something that I've taught and then not do it right and well. And I think about Donna. If you've been listening to us a couple episodes ago, I had Donna the medium on. And by medium, I mean she went from her extra, extra large to a medium size. But she had learned PFC Every 3 years ago. She had been following Mark and learned it, did his program, and then fell off because didn't have the sustainability skills, didn't have the community, didn't have that marriage, didn't even know about that, to cultivate that marriage within herself. So then she goes out and she's now at the heaviest she's ever been, and on very, very unhealthy, and worked in healthcare and hired 3 nutritionists. And every single one of them gave her very different advice, all of them putting herself at a deficit, all of them making her not feel good, no energy. And she just kept thinking, I know this was working. I know that other time I did that with Mark Macdonald, it was working. So she happened to see a podcast that Mark Macdonald and I did on menopause and your metabolism, a series. And she was like, and I talked a lot about mindset in there. And she was like, oh my gosh, I think this chick is what I need. So she signs up to work with Disruptive Nutrition. And she's been with us for a little less than a year and has made more progress than she has in the last 20 years. And so that investment that she did, it was it, right? She is in, she is there. She is sharing this. She's evangelical about it. So Mark and I, though, have been talking about the fact that access and opportunity is an issue. We work with very specific people. We don't accept everybody into our program, and we know it's expensive. It's like a high-end designer line. We can't work with everyone around the world. We don't necessarily typically work with men specifically. We typically work with women because we know that they are the catalyst to the man. But there's a whole population of people out there that we know aren't getting this information. And we know if you just read the book or just took my PFC course, you're not going to get there. You're just not. So Mark and I have been looking, and we have been talking to health pros and talking to organizations of where we could partner to get a global impact, to be able to have the ability to truly teach people how to do this at the long term. At the end of the day as well, we also know that there are 6 plates that we have to spin. 6. Does anybody know what those plates are? I would love to know if you know. If you know, put them in the comments. I know all of my members know this, but I'd love to know if our followers who are not members know this. 6 plates. I'm going to say them very quickly, but this is amazing. I love this because you no longer, if you plateau, if you fall off the wagon, if you're not making progress, nobody has to keep searching for the new diet, the new trendy thing. You just take a look at your 6 plates, pretend they're on little poles that you're spinning, and say, okay, which one of my 6 plates are not spinning? Want to know what the 6 plates are? I'll tell you. Okay. If you know them, put them in. I'm trying to look at comments as I go. 6 plates: exercise, nutrition, sleep, water, stress, and supplements. Those 6. Somebody once said to me, well, if I don't do the supplements, does it matter? And I'm like, well, if you do supplements by yourself without the rest, nutrition is the foundation of all of it. You got to learn that first. Gotta. But somebody said, well, supplements, what do you mean by that? And if I don't take them, does it really matter? And I'm like, well, does it matter if you drink water? Just drinking the right amount of water is not going to get you there if you don't have your nutrition on par. But can you imagine if you didn't drink water, right? Or sleep. Getting the right amount of sleep is so important. But if you don't have your nutrition in order, that's not going to help you to get to your optimal health. But it is incredibly important. Can you imagine if you got your nutrition on par, but said, I don't really want to do the sleep, right? So supplements are the same way. If you just go take a bunch of supplements, it's not going to do anything for you, right? Or it can do some stuff, right? It can fill you with some nutrients, some micronutrients, some fill the gaps of some things that you're not getting in food, but it's not going to get you to your goals. You got to get the nutrition right, and you need the right supplements. So Mark and I have always known that. And we're like, how do we find a partner that's really, really philosophically aligned with how we view food, what we know the body needs, how dieting and oh my gosh, counting, tracking, putting food in containers, all of those things are just hard. They're not sustainable. Mark actually came up with these 3 questions that I always ask my clients. 1, is it based in science? 2, can you do it for the rest of your life? And 3, would you put your kids on it? If you wouldn't put your kids on it, putting them in containers to count your macros, I mean, come on, you shouldn't be doing that for yourself. If you can't do it for the rest of your life, like how do you do that going out to dinner, right? Like you got to calculate points if you're doing the point system, right? If you're not doing carbs, you can't have birthday cake. Like, trust me, if you're doing keto, you can't have birthday cake. That's crazy. Your body has a muscle memory too. Truly, it actually has PTSD from the stuff you're doing to it. So if you keep doing these trendy things that are not sustainable and you wouldn't put your kids on it, your body remembers that and it tries to protect you, even though it might be a little mad at you. Remember this marriage I've been talking about, and it will just start storing fat as a way to protect you. And at the end, that's going to kill you. But hey, in the meantime, you're not giving it what it needs. So it's got to try to accommodate. And the longer your body has to do that, the harder and harder it is. So I would say, like, we have no time to wait. We are on this age train. And if you are not balancing your blood sugar and you're not eating in this way, you are speeding up the age train. Or you could slow down the age train. I mean, I'm closer to 50 than I am to 40. And I am way stronger and way leaner and way healthier than I was when I was closer to 40. That's not supposed to happen. And that's the same for everybody that's been living this lifestyle for a long time. So Mark and I really knew access and opportunity had to happen. And we needed to be able to partner with somebody that we could get all 6 plates taught in a way that was going to be powerful. So we did it. And this is what I want to tell you about. Our programs are high end here at Disruptive Nutrition. We know that people are going to invest. And if they are really ready and they need the support, then we know that it is powerful. But we also know that high-end designers, many of them, also have a line at Target. And it's pretty great. Is it the same level of quality? No. But we came up with the Target line of our programs. Will you get the same amount that you're getting in the larger lines that could be thousands of dollars? No. But can you get the foundational information that you need? Yes. Is it different than reading a book or taking an online course? 100%. It is the perfect marriage of what we teach and the foundational concepts, those 6 plates, while still dealing with what we know we need to do this forever, our community and working on our mindsets in a way that's scalable and more affordable. So the Target line we call Nitro Nutrition, and we launched it officially last summer, but in all reality, we beta tested it. So Mark and I, this is a picture of us. If you're watching the video, this is Mark and I at the launch of Nitro Nutrition. We partnered with the top supplement line in the world, Kyani, and we're really proud of this. Kyani their entire mission is to provide wellness through hope and opportunity. And they mean it in every single way. In fact, I got to go on a mission trip last month with the founder of Kyani in Mexico. And he has dedicated his entire life to helping others. So Mark and I, we couldn't have been more excited in this moment. It had been a lot of work to find the right partner and to be able to develop a program that really was going to still allow people to win. Now, it's more of a DIY program in a way, but you're going to get something that is so much more, that is more affordable. You get your supplements that we know you need, that 6 plate right in there, and you learn how to balance the rest of them. And so what we're calling this is nutrition is kind of our movement. So Mark owns Venice Nutrition. I own Disruptive Nutrition, and we have health pros all over the world, thousands of them, that are also working on this. We have health enthusiasts that are moving this movement forward. We have a bunch of our clients right now that are joining the movement and sharing this with their friends and with their families, because they know that a lot of their friends and families aren't going to spend thousands of dollars on the designer line, or that they can't. And so they're giving them this alternative. Now, the type of person that this is for is the kind of person that maybe you know a decent amount about food, and you just need to figure out how to pull it together. But you know you need some support, and you're going to need to have some questions answered. You like the idea of that. You have, not necessarily your own personal coach, but we have a community, a Facebook community where Mark Macdonald goes live every single week, and that you can learn from that. But you got to be self-driven. You can't be one, I think, who has honestly been dieting for 40 years and just has no idea what to do and really struggles without accountability. Another piece though is if you, a lot of women will say, I don't want to spend the money on myself. I don't have that much value to spend thousands of dollars on myself. But what we know our high-end designer programs do for women is unparalleled. It doesn't even compare, because we're right there with you, right? Some women don't think they're worth that. And if that's you, I want you to reconsider that. Because what you learn and what you do in our larger designer programs will change not just your life, but your family tree. So I want you to be really honest with yourself. If you can't afford the larger programs, or you don't think you're worth it, maybe it's a stretch, but again, we have lots of ways to help make those programs more palatable financially when it comes to how to pay it. But if you will sit there and say, I do not have that, or I know a decent amount of food, or I understand the concept and I need some tweaking, or you are in that place, maybe you're not, you're an athlete, a college athlete, and going through a program like ours isn't necessarily, geared towards you, the busy working mom or grandmother who really needs to be able to visit mindsets and behaviors and habits. If you are really self-driven and know that you'll show up for yourself every single day, then the target line might be great for you. And so the target line really consists of a plan, products, and community. We teach the concept through helping people to learn exactly what we call the nitro effect. It's an experience in your body that enables healthy inflammatory response, promotes circulation, naturally balances blood sugar, optimizes digestion, and supports collagen resilience. Do I do that in my larger program? Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a decision, right, that people have to make. And I just want people to be honest. But if you haven't joined one of our programs because financially it's just completely out of reach, or you're really scared to jump in, maybe this is a good way to get going and to get started. Because what we have here is not just the plan. Now, the plan that I charge thousands of dollars for, right, you get in a booklet. Now, we know a book is not enough, but you get the booklet, you get some recipes, you get exercises. Then we know the products that Kyani has. They are the highest quality supplement company in the world. They only have 8 products. They do it right. They do it well. I would never, ever promote anything to anybody who listens to me if I did not think that what they did was top notch. So their products revolve around the concept of producing nitric oxide in our body. Nitric oxide, we actually can live for 5 minutes without oxygen. We can only live for 5 seconds without nitric oxide. Mark Hyman, who's a functional doctor, functional medical practitioner. He just did a whole podcast on nitric oxide as the molecule of life that nobody knows about. But yet Kyani, the company that produces these products, has been working with nitric oxide and sharing the importance of it for 14 years. Just shows their innovation. Clean, high quality, completely amazing. They have a whole line where you're getting your vitamins, your micronutrients, your nitric oxide, collagen. Guys, there are 27 different kinds of collagen out there. If you're not taking the right kind, you are spending money and throwing it out the window. And you would need a type 1, type 3 bovine collagen. Need that. Plant-based protein shake that is clean. I just did a live the other day about vanilla protein powder and how vanilla flavoring in many products that have vanilla, they say natural flavoring. It's actually, I even hate saying the word, beaver anus. Beaver anus smells and tastes like vanilla. There's no beaver anus in this. If you're going to do a protein shake, because we eat 5 to 6 times a day, you got to make sure it's clean. And you got to make sure it doesn't have beaver anus in it. I know, it's ridiculous. I can't even believe I'm saying it. This has vanilla extract, but it's cheaper. It's cheaper. A lot of protein powders have binders and fillers. And if you're doing something every day, again, we eat 5 to 6 times a day. And if you could do 1 or 2 of them as a protein shake, it makes it so easy, then you're good. And then on shots, to me, the on shots, oh my gosh, it's clean energy. It's like a 5-hour energy drink that is not filled with garbage, junk, chemicals, and additives. It's clean energy and it helps mental clarity. When you no program should be based on products, but when you have the right products, that's one of the 6 plates, you can absolutely enhance your performance. It's like taking those 6 plates and saying, I'm not going to do the water plate, or I'm not going to do the sleep plate. You don't do it, you're not going to see the impact as much. This isn't because I'm trying to say, oh, you have to do these products. I'm saying you need supplements. We cannot get everything we need in food. We need to be able to fill the gaps. And then finally, and here's the key, this is a big piece. So when Mark sells his book, or when I sell my PFC course, it's just the plan, right? But it's not the products, and it's not the community. The community is key. Mark is in that community. I'm in that community. Other health pros from around the world that are joining this movement together are in this community. So you get your questions answered. You just got to show up. You got to show up for yourself. Like if you go to a high-end designer, like if you go to like a Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom, you can have a shopper and they're out shopping for you and bringing you clothes and showing you what you need and all of that kind of stuff. At Target, they don't have that. You got to show up and get your cart and go aisle to aisle, right? So that's a little like what this is, and just understand that the community is amazing. Mark is live every single week. When you go in there, you will be guided into a certain path so that you can follow the plan. You'll start off with a 21-day reset where you're going to really serve your body well for 21 days. And then after that, you learn the monthly accelerate and how you're going to month after month continue to keep up with the lifestyle. Now, I will tell you again, that you have to be able to be willing to be on Facebook and into the group. And you got to understand that you will not have all of the personal guidance like you have with us. You will have a plan and it will show you what to do, but you will have to do some digging as well to be able to really make this work for you. If that's the kind of person that you are and you can do that, then this is amazing. And so, to be able to do it, this is really where your 21-day reset and your monthly accelerate, it's an amazing combination of really understanding the information, but having to do it in a way that's more DIY, but can still last and can still work. Now, a lot of people say, do I have to continue on the products as I go? Remember, it's one of your 6 plates, but you get to, we talk about, grab yourself a bundle, because the cost to be able to do this is a bundle of products. There's 3 different choices, and then you're in. And that's your ticket in. That's what makes this so much more affordable. When you buy that bundle of products, then you're in the plan. The plan that Mark charges thousands of dollars to be able to have. The key is that you dig into that community and you have lifetime access to that community, because when you do that, you actually engage, plug in, get your questions answered. When you're with a group of like-minded people, it's amazing how you can stick with something so much more. Now, it's not all of the behavioral science and the mindset work that I do with my clients, that my coaches do with our clients. But if you don't need a ton of mindset work, if your life is not fully chaotic, then this might be a good option for you. I don't want this to be the, oh, well, I'm not worth it, so option. This is what I can do. And I am a good candidate to be successful here, because again, I don't want people to do this and think it quote unquote didn't work if you're not plugged into the right place. This has to be the last time you ever have to do anything like this again. So plug into the right place for you. And if you're not sure what that is, then I want you to jump on a call with us and we will help guide you. We always want people to get what they need. And need has to do with your body and your life and your experiences and your story, as well as your financial limitations. And so when we can marry the two together to be comprehensive, we can absolutely fill everybody's need here. So if you are interested in nitro nutrition and really understanding more about what this is, I want you to put in the word nitro in the comments. If you are ready for a phone call and just say, you know what, I'm not really sure. I don't know if this is right for me, but I know I need to do something. Then I just want you to either write in the comments, phone call, but I'm also going to put a link to be able to book a phone call with us. But we want to give you more information one way or the other, because it is my passion that you are educated, that you don't just buy something that you don't know how to do forever. And that's what Mark and I really wanted to do, whether it was in the Target line or whether it was in our high-end designer lines, that you get an education, that no matter what, like you could buy a house, you could buy a ring, you could buy a car, it could all be taken away. Nobody can take away what you learn. That is value. That is different. And that is what you need. You just got to figure out how to plug into which one. So nitro nutrition is our movement. And if you are ready to jump in, let's go. Maybe you just want to try a few of the products, because I'm telling you, maybe that's your plate that you need to start spinning. And that's all you can do right now. And that's fine as well. Or maybe you're like ready to say, oh, I want to do this and I want to share this with some of my friends, because they can do this together. This is what builds a movement, you guys. People talking to each other, because our world is unhealthy. Our world needs to get stronger. I mean, let's look at what's happened in the last 2 years, right? And if we talk all the time, people with pre-existing conditions are the most at risk. We can start to alleviate that problem from our world if we start one person at a time, believing in this movement, believing that food is fuel, believing that diets don't work, and understanding that there is a better way. It's been proven and it has been tried. And so for you, you just got to jump in. And if you know that you want to share this with others and be a part of that movement, then I want you to write in movement in the comments, and we'll share with you how you can share this with others. And then you could even get your products for free and then do the program. That would be awesome too, right? So let's work together on this. This is a powerful opportunity, one that, again, I've been working on for a year. And I hope that in one way or another, you're going to join us. You're either going to write in nitro if you're ready to do the plan. You're going to write phone call if you're ready to have a call and just figure out where you fit best. And movement if you're ready to share this with others, because you know that this is important and powerful. All right, you guys, thank you.